Joe Biggs here with Infowars.com with some breaking news. As you can see right here, Turkey Coup underway. Military attempt to seize power from Erdogan as low-flying jets and gunfire heard in Ankara and bridges across Bosphorus and Istanbul closed. So this is an area that's been a hotbed for quite some time. Alex, what do you know about the situation so far?
It's too early to tell right now, but generally the military is seen as more pro-Western and not completely radical Islamic because Istanbul, of course, was formerly Constantinople, or the capital of the Byzantine Empire, what was left of the Roman Holy Empire. And so a lot of them are crypto-Christians, just like in Syria. A lot of the so-called Muslims really are Christians and are actually followers of Christ. So this is one of the less radical countries generally in the Middle East, but it's also the former headquarters of the Ottoman Empire. So it kind of goes back and forth historically. But it's too early to tell. We'll probably know by the nightly news tonight exactly what's going on. But generally, a military coup against Erdogan would be against the more radical Islamic elements that Erdogan has been allied with and has been sending into Syria to attack the population there. Now, of course, the Russians have been bombing the thousands of trucks going in with oil stolen out of Syria and Iraq to Erdogan's son and others. So there's a lot of different groups. There's also some of the other internal organizations that David Knight's about to talk about in a moment that may also be involved in this. But when you see the military openly with fighter jets involved with this, generally it leans towards people trying to get rid of Erdogan because he's been working with the Islamicists, and that would overall be a good thing. But we don't know yet. We also have these big Turkish foundations that are involved in education programs and bizarre behavior here that Erdogan has been going after. They've been swearing to overthrow Erdogan, so that might be it as well. We're only speculating at this point, but clearly a military coup is underway. David Knight, come on over here. We're here in Biggs's office. That's where we're shooting this special report. Again, we just shoot different reports around the office to give viewers a full spectrum view and transparency of what we do here. David Knight, what's your angle on this?
Well, Alex, there's been a lot of competition, of course, for quite some time between Erdogan and Fethullah Gulen. Both of them have been supported by the CIA and our government to various degrees. Fethullah Gulen was run out of his country in that power struggle. He came to America, brought in as a guest by the CIA. A lot of people said this guy is a terrorist. We need to not allow him in the country, and yet there were people within the CIA, high officers in our government, wrote letters to keep him in here. He's now in Pennsylvania. We've talked in the past about—
He has billions in foundation money.
Yes. They control over $150 billion worldwide, they say the organization does. They have 1,000 schools throughout the world. We've talked about how the charter schools here in America, just here in Texas, he's got about 40 Fethullah Gulen schools, and he gets about $500 million of taxpayer money here as charter schools. Now, there's a competition between Fethullah Gulen, who is essentially in exile, and Erdogan, who is currently the president in Turkey. And a few months ago, the Erdogan government hired a lawyer to come after Fethullah Gulen for racketeering and corruption and that sort of thing here in America. Now, what's happened in the last couple of days, just back on July 12th, they did a mass arrest of officers, teachers, and others. This is from the Daily Sabah and other sources, Turkish sources. There was a mass movement against the Fethullah Gulen sources. And understand, he's got a lot of people who are in the official bureaucracy, in the police force, in the military.
That is, in fact, what Erdogan, the current quasi-dictator, fake election, has said. They're trying to overthrow the government. Yeah. So are you kind of predicting here? I think that sounds pretty accurate, and we don't know yet that this could be their counterstrike back against the government trying to roll up their network.
That's what it appears to be, because there was a massive move by the Erdogan forces against Fethullah Gulen within the last several days. They rounded up these officers, teachers, bureaucrats. They said they brought the main trial. There's been a lot of different trials, but they said the first collective day of an indictment against the Gulenist terrorist organization, as they put it in Turkey. This has been they said there's been multiple trials, investigations, but this is a major case that will pull together all the crimes in which the group stands accused of. Okay, so that was about to start. So all this stuff, that massive roundup of people, massive trial about to start, and now we learned that there is a military coup there. So that's all we know at this point.
This is happening right now. 23 minutes ago, the Turkish Prime Minister claimed that a military coup was underway. And internet in Ankara has been shut out. There's no social media. And now 5 seconds ago, this just got updated. Turkish military says it has now taken over. And down here, there's a video of soldiers walking up and down the street telling citizens the Turkish military has taken over, go home. So they've now installed a curfew. Martial law is underway in Turkey.
And the question is, who is behind this? YouTube, Google, it's all shut off into Turkey, showing that internet kill switches are real. They've put them in here. We're seeing more and more censorship, and there's all these Islamists are always battling with each other over control. It's a conquest economy, not a Renaissance boom economy. And now here in the West, the Renaissance economy, we are bringing in the conquest economy, not the innovation economy. And it's like once their subterfuge starts, folks, I mean, the Arabs will tell you. I mean, it's all about backstabbing. It's all about BS. This is very dishonorable, and we just do not need this here, whether it's the network, the schools, and this guy with $140 billion, or whether it's Erdogan. I mean, look, folks, Turkey is the last big country in Europe to fall to the Muslims. We don't need to bring it into the euro. The point is they want conquest. It's not that I'm against the Muslims. I'm not against the rattlesnake. It's just it wants to bite me. And so, no, sorry. You're not open. You're not a free society. No, we're done. You want to convert to free market? Fine, come in. You want to run around and tell us we're bags over our head? Ain't happening.
One other thing, Alex, we just seen the end of the Ramadan happening, and it was a couple of nights ago in Turkey. Essentially a fight broke out between the leaders who were having champagne glasses there. They wound up with them throwing glasses at each other, the two political parties on the right. So there's a lot of unrest there. But I also find it interesting what you were just talking about in terms of the conquest that's going on here. Just as Ramadan was ending, we had John Kerry on Tuesday night address a group of Muslims and brag to them that he had increased by sixfold the number of people that they brought in from Syria. Wow. This is the pattern of conquest that's being applied to America, and bragging about it, saying, we're not doing this as normal immigration, we're not doing it as green cards, we're not doing it as citizens, this is something different, and we're doing it 6 times faster. Aren't you proud of me? At the end of Ramadan, Secretary of State John Kerry. Yeah.
They've been bought off, folks. This isn't rhetoric. I mean, I used to hear this 10 years ago from people in the military high up, and I thought, you people are crazy. They're not planning a Muslim double-cross takeover, okay? No, they are. I mean, because the Muslims will actually spend, like, all their money to buy you off. I mean, the Westerners are like, hey, I'm having a good time, whatever. I mean, we are a joke. Joe Biggs?
Now look at this. The military's now seized control of the airport in Turkey. There's multiple pictures coming up. There's a local guy who was sending in stuff. This happened before everything got shut down, all the internet. Yeah, because you can see a big tank here outside of the airport. This guy's got numerous pictures of tanks rolling up and down the street off of local media, and then he actually has some that he has taken as well. Here's a tank here, waiting on that to come up.
And by the way, let me just add, I'm not defending. Let me just add, I'm not defending Hosni Mubarak. 4 years ago, they were moved in Egypt, but Christians, Jews, Muslims, Shiites, Sunnis could all live in peace. They had industry; their economy is doing pretty good. You had tourism; that's all shut down now. Our government helped back the Muslim Brotherhood, which is Saudi Arabian Al-Qaeda, to overthrow the country and then blow up hundreds of churches, murder tens of thousands. And finally, the military stood up and said, that's it, and kicked them out. Okay, so what's crazy is generally it's these older Western-trained militaries, whether it be Egypt or Turkey, that actually don't want their daughters, to have their genitals cut off and wear bags over their heads. So I'm not predicting what's behind this. I don't know yet. But generally in these countries, a military coup is against the Islamicists, by people that just want civilization and want tourism and want prosperity. The jihadis don't want that. They want to live in dirt villages and run around and have women chained up like dogs. I mean, these people are frickin' demons. I mean, it's like being invaded by an alien species of morons or something. I mean, I don't know why the left is so in love with these people. Go ahead. Biggs, you finish up the report.
There's jets flying over right through here now. You can see low-flying jets are starting to come through from the military. You'll see another one that shoots by really fast over the top of the building here in a minute. It'll probably take a second to go back, but this is a live periscope from within Turkey that was put up here just a little bit ago. Go through some of this footage right here. Check out some of this stuff here. But as you can see, there's military set up everywhere. This guy's driving down the road. You can see the military set up here on the bridges and all that, blocking off areas, not allowing people to come in. I guess they're allowing people to leave, and all the soldiers lined up and down the side of the road.
All right, we're going to cover this more. We're going to cover this more as it unfolds. We'll also air this on the Nightly News in a few hours. We're going to upload this to YouTube right now, but we're going to air this on the Nightly News later. And then Leanne McAdoo will know more by then, and she can come in and tell us exactly what's happening. Right now, though, she is the Statue of Liberty, holding the light up over there. I think that's we got to come up with some kind of iconic image of her as the Statue of Liberty, bringing light to the situation. She made me promise not to show she was being the light person, but we just did it. So again, this is being taped right now at 3:40 Central. We're going to upload it right now to YouTube and other places. But then on Nightly News tonight, 7 o'clock Central, InfoWarsNews.com, we will find out exactly what happened, or at least know more then. Anything else? David, anything else, Biggs?
The only thing I would add to it, Alex, is you mentioned Europe and Turkey's position in that in the euro. Remember that just before Brexit, we had David Cameron doing question and answer, and he said UKIP is putting around these posters about Brexit saying these things about how much money we're sending to them and that they want to bring in Turkey into the European Union. And he goes, it isn't going to happen on my watch. He goes, I think they're at least 30 years out from this. And yet he's said over and over again he would love to see Turkey come into the European Union.
Well, they've already brought it in. They got the border open, letting them bring them in, and Merkel's saying bring them. Yeah. Back to InfoWars Nightly News. Oh, look at this. What do we got here?
Right here you have planes or helicopters shooting from the sky.
Wow.
Look at that one more time. It'll come from right over here.
All right, more on InfoWars Nightly News tonight. Stay with us, ladies and gentlemen. If you're watching this transmission and you're awake, reach out to the other zombies. Let them know there's an attempt to shut down free speech here in America as well. There's a wave of tyranny happening worldwide. It's time to stand up against it and resist it.